With COVID restrictions slowly being eased this year, we started to look for somewhere to go for a trip. Having been in Australia since the end of our Vietnam trip at the beginning of 2020, the relaxing of restrictions in Japan led us to choose this as our first destination, especially as entry procedures are quite easy, with no pre-departure COVID tests needed for vaccinated travellers. As of March 2023, fully vaccinated travellers from most countries can enter visa-free and register their trip and details with the Visit Japan website, which then gives QR codes to show on arrival for health, immigration and customs checks. Download the app and the instructions are quite clear. Unfortunately, airfares are almost double what they previously were, and the cost of living has increased everywhere, making this trip an expensive one by our standards. We managed to find reasonable airfares on Malaysia Airlines flying direct from Adelaide to Kuala Lumpur and then to Narita and Tokyo. And although Japan is quite expensive, the yen to dollar rate's quite good at the moment, and one can eat reasonably cheaply there. Accommodation was a big expense at this time. We used the Suica IC card for travelling, as we were mainly staying in Tokyo, so the Japan Rail Pass would not have been of any benefit to us. The Suica card is a prepaid rechargeable chip card that allows use of most forms of public transport, metro, trains, buses, etc. in Japan. It can also be used to pay for goods in many vending machines and many stores like 7-Eleven, Lawson's, Family Mart, etc. A special version of Suica called Welcome Suica is also available for foreign tourists. These cards are valid only for 4 weeks, come without a deposit fee, but do not allow for refunds. There are many YouTube videos available on the use of these cards. We also purchased a data-only Japanese SIM card. This is a lot cheaper than using your own provider's international data packs. They're freely available at international arrival airports in Japan, or you can get them mailed to you at your home. They're invaluable for using things like Google Translate and Google Maps to get yourself around. Google Maps we found is a great app to download as it works brilliantly in Japan. It will even give you transport details down to the detail of the train or bus timetable and which platform to use to get places. It even shows you which car on the train to use for a quick exit. Google Translate we found was a really useful app for helping ask questions, etc., and using the camera setting helps you to read signs and labels, which is really good for shopping, eating out and such, where English can be rare in Japan. Many restaurants do, however, have English menus either on display or offered when you enter, but the Translate app is really helpful. From Narita Airport, we travelled on the Keisei Skyliner, which is the quickest and cheapest option at 2,570 yen each one way. It runs every 15 to 20 minutes for a 45-minute trip. It only goes to Ueno, so those wanting to head into central Tokyo or beyond need to change at Nippori. There are several options for travel into Tokyo depending on where you're staying. We were going to Asakusa, so caught the Skyliner to its terminus in Ueno and then a short taxi ride to our hotel. If heading for Tokyo or changing to the JR lines, you're best to get off and change at Nippori, as the Keisei and JR platforms are close. The other main option is the Narita Express, next, run by JR. It's a more expensive and slower option and less frequent than the Skyliner, but free if you have a JR pass and connects seamlessly with other JR trains at Tokyo Station. The third option is the Keisei Access Express line, which is a regular commuter train, so it's slower and not bookable and therefore can be crowded. It is, however, only 1,344 yen. It also goes all the way to Haneda Airport, and there are many videos about these services, but we would be happy to answer any questions.